Welcome to another episode of Daily Gym. The other day, I was on a coaching call with somebody who was trying to improve his productivity and the number of tasks that he manages to get done in a single day. This person has about 15 to 20 people working for him, which means he's not only responsible for his own tasks, but also for the tasks of the people he's working with. But on the flip side, it means also that he doesn't have to get all the work done by himself, but instead has the opportunity to delegate a lot of work to other people. And this made me think, what would my advice be for somebody who has a group of people at his disposal versus somebody who has to do all the work by himself? And that's what today's video is about. First, what I discussed with this person who I had on a coaching call. The first step I asked him was, what is your current process in terms of to-do lists or how to manage the tasks you have to get done? And like most people, this person simply wrote down on his computer what task he thinks he needs to do on that particular day. So I asked him how many tasks he has on average in a day and what his completion percentage looks like. He mentioned to me he has about 10 to 15 tasks every single day that he feels responsible for, and he only managed to accomplish about 50% of those. The point here is that over time, as you start seeing day in and day out, you're only accomplishing 50%. Without really realizing it, stress and pressure starts building up in yourself. Because we start looking more at our failures, so to speak, or the things we didn't get done than the things we actually managed to accomplish. Even if your completion percentage is 70% or so, that 30% starts weighing on your mind. And you start going home and start thinking, why am I not able to accomplish all these tasks that I set out to do every single day? Is it like me? Does it have something to do with me? Because I look at all my peers and colleagues and they're able to accomplish so many things. And as I mentioned, generally that's because you're not really looking at the things that you were able to accomplish, but instead the things that are left undone. And it creates this really unsatisfying feeling within you. So I went to the second step, which was asking him to write for each item on his to-do list. Does it have to get accomplished today, tomorrow, this week, or next week? So basically writing a real hard deadline. Sure enough, you might want to get everything accomplished today, but it doesn't necessarily mean that everything has to be accomplished today. That would lead me to step number 3, which is, does his work have to get done by me, or can it get done by somebody else? And I really wanted this person to be critical about this, because the more work you are able to delegate to other people, the more work as a group we're able to get done. And finally, as kind of a bonus step, I ask him, after already deciding which work has to be done by me, which work has to be done by somebody else, what are the deadlines? For all the tasks that you assigned for today to yourself, can you teach any of these tasks to somebody else within the next week or maybe the next month? Can you give somebody the skills so that he or she can accomplish this task instead of you? Because the reason we make to-do lists or the reason we do task management is not so much to improve only our own productivity, but the productivity as a group as a whole, and the results we're able to accomplish as a company or as a group as a whole. So that means the more of the tasks that you're able to do right now that you can give to somebody else, the more the potential of the group as a whole increases, because you can go on a holiday and somebody else can take over for you. But when you're actually there, you're freeing up time for yourself to spend on other things that the company wasn't able to do, because you now have time to research or develop certain skills that the group doesn't have yet. Then I started thinking, what if I'm working by myself, or I'm trying to advise somebody who's doing all the work by himself? In this case, the process is much more simplified because the opportunity to give something to somebody else doesn't really exist. Unless, of course, you start thinking of outsourcing or hiring people. But let's be under the assumption that you have to do all the work by yourself. In this case, the only question you have to ask yourself, does this task have to get done at all? Because the only options really at your disposal are, the task has to be accomplished today, the task can be delayed until a certain other time, or I simply remove the task because it doesn't really make much sense to get it done. Sure enough, you can argue we can somehow cheat our way a little bit by simplifying the task that needs to be accomplished, but still it all comes down to, does it have to be accomplished today, another day, or do I have to forget about it? That's all my advice for today in terms of to-do lists or task management. I'll be back with another video tomorrow, and today, have a nice day, everybody.